Welcome everyone to the Avengenerds podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torrin, and with me is my co-host Peyton. How's it
What's
going?
good, man? What's good? We have just a massive show for everyone this week. I mean, this is the start of Spider-Man month. The new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer just dropped. The topic for this week, we're going to be talking about the Raimi Trilogy. Huge week. Luckily, there's not a lot of news to cover, besides the trailer, of course. So this is going to be a long one because we got to talk about the trailer in length, and then we got to talk about the Raimi Trilogy. So let's just get the news out of the way so we can, get to the good shit. So even though the trailer came out, there's still some really good news. For example, Daniel RPK on Twitter, known leaker, posted a casting grid of what could be a new Daredevil series produced by Marvel Studios.
So nice. So I saw out, that.
And, that dude's like a menace to Marvel Studios. He was on Twitter, he was like, you know what, fuck it, and just dropped the casting grid.
Yeah, really? Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, this man's a menace. But, so we already kind of knew that he was coming back, but it looks like he will be getting his own series. So that's super cool. Next piece of news that actually just came out today. Michael Keaton said in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel that he's shooting Vulture scenes in the immediate future. Now, he probably wasn't supposed to say this, number one, but like, what could this be for? Is it for Morbius? But like, that finished shooting a long time ago. I guess they could still be doing additional photography. I don't know. Are they shooting a late edition post-credit scene to No Way Home? But they're also doing, I forgot if it's now or I don't remember if they actually specified when they start, but we do know now that they are reshooting stuff on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So what if he's going to be there? It's just interesting that Michael Keaton's like, yeah, I'm filming some Vulture stuff tomorrow. Like, for what?
That is just, I'm excited to see. I feel like we need a little bit more Vulture in our lives.
Any Michael Keaton is I will happily accept. So next up is, this is from My Cosmic Circus on Twitter. It's rumored that Marvel Studios may have plans to expand the Spider-Man story after Spider-Man No Way Home, beginning with the animated freshman year series that they announced at Disney Plus Day. The plans include another movie trilogy, likely the college trilogy, and a season of the animated series to fill in the gaps between each movie.
Oh, that's exciting.
That is exciting. That'd be really freaking cool.
You want to know what I want to see the most?
What?
The Spectacular Spider-Man season 2.
Hell no. That show's mid.
Shut up, bro.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, if they revive the 90s X-Men series, I mean, what's stopping them from reviving Spectacular Spider-Man?
90s.
Because, look, that most recent Spider-Man animated series, I mean,
which one?
It's the most recent one, the one that was sort of tied to Tom's to Homecoming and stuff when that came out.
Spider-Man like 2019 or something like that.
It's just called Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, the show came out in 2019, right?
I feel like it came out earlier. Regardless, it's not good. So they should definitely revive Spectacular Spider-Man. So some DC news. Daniel RPK again says that the Batgirl movie, will lead into a Black Canary solo project.
Wow.
So
I like that.
Does that mean Black Canary will show up in Batgirl? I hope so, because she definitely deserves her own something, whether that's a movie or a show. But speaking of Batgirl, Batgirl added the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Logan cinematographer, John Mathieson. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's the Logan cinematographer, which, I mean, yes, please, right? So he's attached to Batgirl, so that's awesome. And Warner Brothers announced again, this actually came out today, Warner Brothers announced their Smash Brothers ripoff Multiverses, which is actually a pretty sick name, to be honest. It's free to play, and it's coming in 2022. I'm actually pretty excited for it. It's a Smash Brothers ripoff. It has characters like I think Kevin Conroy is Batman in it. I mean, you got like Finn and Jake. A bunch of cool characters are back. But that's it for the news of the week, which means it's time for the No Way Home trailer. Why don't you get us started on that?
Man, this freaking trailer is a second coming of Jesus, man. This is an amazing trailer. I think the whole trailer itself is better than Nolan's Batman trilogy. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But this trailer was amazing. I'm gonna say this. I love like the I like the new Doc Ock like you look. You know, his arms, like, you know, they're all like red and stuff.
With the nanotech.
I love that a lot. Yeah, the nanotech is the type of thing. It's also nice seeing fucking Green Goblin, like the suit.
Yes,
the suit looks so polished. It looks amazing. I love the fact that like Doctor Strange is explaining how like, you know, it's their fate to die like against Spider-Man. I like the aspect of No Way Home. So it's gonna definitely have the character dilemma of Tom Spider-Man trying to save everybody, which, you know, we'll see when the movie comes out. Also nice seeing, you know, Electro doing the little
zappy zaps.
The zaps, and like has a little like crown looking mask thing that looks pretty cool. Sandman, Lizard. I think the trailer just looks phenomenal. Nice. It looks at the new suit, the black and gold suit. Looks like, you know, it's like the red one inside out. I just can't wait for this movie. I was hoping to buy tickets the day of the trailer, which I'm sure like they didn't want to do it that day because, you know, like it would have crashed. Like, so this movie is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing for every single Spider-Man fan to come. I just can't wait. I can't put it into words.
I 100% agree. I want to get into detail a little bit and speculate a bit. So, just based on this trailer, it seems like Otto is only sort of in the beginning portion of the movie, which I feel like leads credence to the rumor that Goblin is actually the main villain, because they're really pushing the marketing on Doc Ock. But it seems like he's captured relatively easily, which makes me think, because we see in the trailer that he sort of has Peter pinned, and then, you know, he sort of tries to protect himself and takes off the mask to put it on his chest to protect himself, and he's like, "You're not Peter Parker." Raimi fans are gonna have a field day with that. So I feel like that's gonna sort of like trigger him, and it's gonna like confuse him and be like, "The fuck is going on?" And he might actually help out, because we also see in the trailer that Electro and Doc Ock seem to be fighting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
So I think he's only going to be in the beginning of the movie, sort of be a little bit of a adversary, I guess, and then he might be good and help out. What if he's in the final battle? It's not actually, the other Spider-Man aren't in the movie. It's Spider-Man and Doc Ock fighting him.
I would be like, what the hell?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind.
I'm definitely not going home after that one, because I'm gonna need an explanation of what the fuck I just saw.
But like you were saying, like the black and gold suit looks good. The whole like magic thing on his arm, which is going to be the magical web thing that we've seen in some of the other marketing. It's always good seeing J.K. Simmons.
Oh my god, yes.
I was always. Like, hell yeah. I was kind of worried, because we knew he'd be in the movie in some capacity. I was sort of worried that we'd only see him sort of like on the screen and stuff. But I mean, even if that was the case, I wouldn't be mad. But the main plot seems to be that these multiversal villains die in their respective universes, so they have to send them back essentially to die. Now, obviously, Peter, being the good guy that he is, doesn't want to kill anyone because that's essentially what he's doing. He's sending them to their deaths. He's killing them. And obviously he doesn't want to do that. So Strange and Peter are sort of at odds. I love that. I love that a lot. Not only is it very Spider-Man, but it's also very Strange. So having them at odds, number one, makes perfect sense, but also super cool to see.
Yeah.
And that also leads me to believe that maybe either Strange will change his mind, maybe maybe the other Spider-Man shows up and they change his mind, like, hey, I get it, you don't want to kill these guys, but you gotta do what you gotta do. We saw it in the first trailer, but that astral projection scene, I mean, so cool.
I think there's also like an extended scene of that.
There is, yes.
And I was like, holy crap, dude, that was crazy. Also, I wanted to say, like, going back to the I don't know if you mentioned it because I was doing something, but like when Peter has on the black and gold suit with a little wrist time magic thing, freaking Electros in the background.
Yeah,
that's dude, that's such a good shot.
So cool. The shot of Peter reaching for the pumpkin bomb and it explodes is freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Electro looks awesome. He's a major improvement from the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
We got to see his little comic accurate little mask there with the electricity and whatever. Sandman and Lizard look awesome. I feel like Lizard looks a bit bulkier in this.
Yeah, and like he has more teeth too.
Yeah, I wish he had the lab coat though. I want
the lab coat. I want the pants.
People are like, I keep seeing articles. I mean, all these articles are like clickbait bullshit, right? But they're like, Sandman gets a redesign. I'm like, how? it's a man of sand. I don't know what else.
The fuck? I'm like, the fuck you gonna do? Take a grain out,
right?
Put some water over him, make him muddy.
So towards the end of the trailer, MJ falls, which is obviously the Amazing Spider-Man 2 parallel. So people obviously speculating, does Tom save her or does Andrew swoop in and save her?
No, it's me because I have to intervene.
Oh, I see. But people are speculating that like they show Tom, but they're like, it's Andrew because redemption or whatever for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. While that would be cool, I feel like it might just be Tom.
Yeah.
But, there's always misdirects in these trailers or whatever. Maybe Tom actually fucks up and doesn't end up catching her, and then Andrew swoops in and, actually saves her or whatever. But that moment at the end of the trailer where Strange is like, they're starting to come through and I can't stop it. I mean, that's definitely the end game Portals moment, right? Where all this other Spider-Man come in, but it also might not be because there's some scoopers have also said that the other Spider-Man show up towards the middle of the movie. So unless that entire scene is like the middle of the movie, like half the movie's the third act.
Just imagine, dude, like there's like barely anything of like the bridge.
That'd be crazy.
And then and it's just like, yeah, that being like the middle part of the movie all the way to the end.
Yeah, people are like complaining that they just keep showing the bridge scene, but I'm like, I mean, I'd rather just see the bridge scene than have them like reveal the whole movie.
I know, right? Spider-Man, no way off the bridge.
Yeah, but that new suit, the sort of hybrid suit, I think it's called the integrated suit or something like that, canonically.
The black and gold one, or the or like the red and blue with like the gold,
the sort of Iron
lining.
Spider looking one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That one
looks gorgeous.
It looks amazing.
I remember when it leaked and people were like, "This suit looks trash."
I know, and then like look at that now, dude. I'm actually looking to get the toy because they have the toy like everywhere.
Bro, I'm buying every single pop toy out of this movie,
dude.
Every single
the
one.
way when you sent me the leaked Pop Toys, bro, I felt my wallet just quivering, bro. It's gonna be screaming.
Yeah, but I think we gotta talk about that Brazilian version of the trailer. Where
What was the Brazilian version? I never
the
saw
one,
it.
no, yeah, I mean, yeah, you did. Well, it was kind of confusing because it was like, did they edit it out, or was it a different version of the trailer? I think it's a Brazilian version of the trailer, but Sony done fucked up like they always do, and there was an extended shot of all the three
Oh
villains and
yeah,
Spider-Man charging at each other, and you see
Lizard
you
just
see
get
Lizard get decked by nothing. So obviously they edited something or someone out of the shot, and it's definitely the other Spider-Man. I mean, that's the money shot right there. So,
yeah.
but
Yeah, they don't care. They're just trying to get the movie released.
yeah, I mean that's the trailer. I mean, there's definitely um other bits of the trailer, such as Aunt May is like running through that like fiery building, which has me fucking worried, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, Happy.
Yeah, yeah, and like
Yeah.
happy with all the like, I don't like what the hell is going on there, you know? This movie looks crazy. Like the first trailer had me excited, but like this one like took it to an entirely new level. Like it looks like, well, Tom Holland teased it last week. We talked about it last week, but like dark and sad. Oh man, this movie looks freaking
Yeah,
great. I'm so excited.
this movie is definitely gonna be like the end game, like the pandemic end game, just full of like just sadness, like closure, just a lot of feelings will be like revealed through this movie.
Yeah, like the
But
cinematography alone looks much better compared to Far From Home and Homecoming. I love those movies,
yeah,
but like, I mean, just the MCU in general sort of has a sort of lack of good cinematography. I mean, there's good cinematography, but generally, it can be flat
yeah,
at times.
yeah, for sure.
But it looks good here. So, yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
I mean, like, was kind of like more about like the happy thing, you know, like there's like a theory that like something's gonna happen to him, and like people feel like it's kind of like in the trailer, you know, that lightning strike with like the sand or
Mm.
whatever. So, hey man, they say they go pack up happy. Hey, they get. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a lot.
What are you doing if May dies?
Um, I don't want to talk about that. All right.
But like, I mean, it looks concerned. Like, it looks like the building she's running through in that shot looks like the same place as the goblin bomb going off, and
Yeah.
that's what's like, please, let's. God,
Like,
I hope,
please.
I really hope she doesn't die, because I feel like she could contribute a lot more to
Mm,
this version of Spider-Man. I hope she doesn't die. I hope she gets brutally injured,
wow.
but doesn't die.
Wow. Brutally injured.
Yes. Same with Happy. You know what? Kill Happy. We've seen
Oh
a
man.
lot of it. All
Yeah,
right.
we've seen a lot of happy.
If you're gonna kill anyone, kill Happy. But don't kill Happy. I like Happy. But yeah,
Okay.
is that the trailer?
Yeah, that is a trailer.
All right.
Time to get into everybody's favorite trilogy.
The
Psych.
worst trilogy of all time, the Holy Trilogy, the best trilogy, the Raimi
Definitely,
Trilogy.
definitely the one of the weirdest standards in terms of Spider-Man. But
Look,
let's get
so
into it.
this is the start of Spider-Man month. So next week we're going to be doing Andrew's duology. We're going to be doing Tom Holland's films, and then the week after we're going to be the week after Tom's films, and the week before No Way Home, we're going to be talking about the Spider-Man fan base and sort of how these movies are viewed by the Spider-Man fan base and stuff like that. What's fair criticism, what's not, and we're definitely going to be getting into sort of the how do I put this? The overabundance of praise this trilogy gets. Now we're gonna get into it. We do like these movies generally. And I do love these movies, and they'll always have a special place in my heart.
Exactly.
But
me too.
That doesn't mean they're void of criticism.
Yeah, exactly. And I always talk about haters a lot. It's just generally what like we see it's just like I feel like people act like Spider-Man fans especially, they act like this movie can never be no wrong, or they can never do no wrong. I will be the judge of that. And so will Payne will be by today of this episode.
I mean, they call it the Holy Trilogy for a reason, I guess.
Yeah. We're going to get into why the Raimi Trilogy, or the bad stuff, even the good stuff of the Raimi Trilogy.
Yeah. So we're kind of we're gonna go in order. Obviously, Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. We're sort of gonna generally go in the direction of timeline of each film.
Yeah, chronological order. Yeah.
This might be a long one.
Yeah, this will be a long one. We have a lot of thoughts, lots of thoughts.
Yeah. So let's start off with Spider-Man 1, of course, released in 2002. I actually have the poster, the original teaser poster with like the Twin Towers reflected in his eyes. I have that poster up in my room. So I love these movies. I actually speaking of which, I have I think 5 copies of each movie in this trilogy. So no one can tell me that I'm a Disney shill or I hate these movies or whatever. I have 5 different copies of each version, and I might have 6 or 7 copies even of each when I might get them on 4K.
Yeah. Also, he has Payne has a steelbook addiction.
I only have a steelbook addiction for the Spider-Man movies. I have steelbooks of other ones, but it's only because they were like on like sale and they were cheaper than the normal version. So I was like, hell yeah, I might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, any Spider-Man movie that comes out, I get it on steelbook. Yeah, so let's start with Spider-Man 1. Let's just say that these early 2000s movies, just generally, but like, good lord, the opening credits are so long.
They're so long, but like I feel like you can never like top those like opening credits.
Yeah, I feel like when you have a score as good as Danny Elfman's, you kind of don't mind and you're just vibing along.
Dude, that song goes, the opening goes hard to this day. I swear.
It's such a gorgeous score. I mean,
it really is.
It will never be topped. It's gonna stay in the theme Hall of Fame for eternity.
Yeah, if someone were to like talk shit about like Spider-Man themes and scores, and they were to say Danny Elfman has the best score out of all 3 Spider-Men, I wouldn't be mad because I would agree with them.
It's true. Like the other scores aren't bad, but jeez, man, this Danny Elfman one, something else.
And what's crazy is that like the main Spider-Man 2 had Hans Zimmer, which is like probably top 3 composers for everybody, and that still doesn't really.
It doesn't hold a candle. It doesn't come close, in my opinion.
It doesn't come close to Elfman's.
Hell no. So, the movie opens or whatever, and Peter's like, "Who am I? Do you really want to know? My story's not for the faint of heart." Or whatever. I don't like Toby's voiceovers in this, his narration. I don't really like narration in a lot of movies. I feel like it's always awkward, but is what it is. I have a question.
Yeah, what is it?
What the hell does Peter see in MJ?
Bro, I have no idea.
He chases the bus or whatever, and she's like, "Stop the bus," or whatever. He's been following us or whatever. And initially, I hadn't seen this movie in a little while. And for whatever reason, I sort of had this idea that they were childhood friends
Mm-hmm.
because they lived together growing up. So I kind of just assumed, oh yeah, they're childhood friends, but no, they're not. They just live next to each other.
Wow.
Because she's like, I don't know, man, but like, what does he see in her? Like, she defends him that one time, and then everywhere else she either neglects him or is just not defensive at all. But then she also falls for, I don't know, man.
Yeah, MJ throughout the whole entire trilogy. I'm just gonna get into it. She's horrible, horrible.
Trash.
Like the worst, like love interest.
I think even Raimi fanboys can agree that she's not the greatest of
Yes,
these.
there's horrible characterization, and we'll get into why in like a later point. Oh God, oh God, awful. All right,
So
uh,
bad.
continue on to your
And
next
like
point.
she's not great in this, and she's the best in this in this
Yeah.
movie. She only gets worse.
Oh my God.
Good lord. All right. Well, we see Aunt May and Uncle Ben for the first time, and Rosemary Harris is the perfect Aunt May. Like,
Really?
it's like he just ripped her out of the 60s comics. Just freaking flawless. I'm like, that's freaking Aunt May. Marissa Tomei is great, and I do like the younger Aunt May. But if we're just looking at comic accuracy here, Rosemary Harris is primo, man.
Like it is. Like, she is Aunt May, and it's like, you can feel like the energy through, like her performance. It's like, it's like getting like your aunt or even like your grandma, if you see it that way, like you never had. It's so like it's so heartfelt and like comforting, knowing that she can be there. She was there for Peter, but also can be there for you as well. That's
Yeah,
how I saw it.
she's
Still
just
see it to this now.
she's just the best. It's like she's so good. Moving on from that, Peter Parker, my guy's a peeping Tom.
He really is. That man's a creep.
And the fact that like, and think about it like this: they've been growing up next to each other since they were kids. How long has he been looking in that window? He's just been watching her for like 2 decades.
Man's
Like, this dude's mad creepy.
literally, like, and like he gets caught too. He gets caught literally by her. It's like, man, you couldn't make it more obvious.
Weird. My man's is weird. Like, Toby. Actually, let's talk a little bit about what we think of Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and just sort of his characterization in general. A lot of people are like, a ton of people think that Toby is the best iteration of the character. And
Yeah.
after watching the trilogy this past week, rewatching it,
Mm-hmm.
I can genuinely see how people can come to that conclusion. But while he is a genuinely great Peter Parker in these first 2 movies, he is he has the awkwardness down and stuff like that, but just he's creepy, he's sort of stalkerish at times, and I'm like, I like, and Tobey Maguire, I'm not really a fan of him as an actor. Like, I don't know, have you seen him in anything else other than Spider-Man?
Well, no, and like the only fucking thing that people bring up is like, oh, brothers.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. What was the other? Yeah, brothers.
he was
I keep
he was
thinking
in
about.
Brothers. I've seen sort of his stuff in Brothers. He's in like a little glimpse of Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr. He's in The Great Gatsby, which I have seen, which just has more Tobey Maguire narration. But he's in Boss Baby.
He is in Boss Baby. I forgot about that.
I don't like him as an actor all that much. I have a hard time taking him seriously.
Mm.
Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But like but when it comes to Peter Parker, he's got the awkwardness down. It's not really his fault. It's just more of like, I don't even know, the time, I guess. And him just being a freaking weirdo.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those things where like, like at the time too, like, just like the freaking, some of the lines were like just did not land. Like, oh yeah, oh boy, yeah.
Jesus.
And I was gonna say,
good golly gosh.
He said good golly gosh.
No, but he would. Wouldn't he?
Because I was gonna say, like, I was gonna add a comment about like his acting reflecting along with Sam Raimi's like directing style, but I don't think it's Sam Raimi's style because even though his style is more campy, but also I'm thinking about like his directing style because you have the Evil Dead like trilogy, and that was great. So I don't know if I think it has to do with Tobey Maguire. Then again, I can't speak too much about Tobey Maguire because I haven't seen him like barely like outside of like Spider-Man. Like I haven't seen Boss Baby. I haven't seen The Great Gatsby. Haven't seen
Brothers.
Yeah, I haven't seen Brothers.
Like he's good in Brothers, I guess, but like his best scene that everyone picks out is just him yelling.
Like yelling? Yeah, it's like him yelling like on the front line.
I feel like we're in a place now that I feel like a lot of people can recognize that a guy just yelling is not automatically a great performance.
It's a red flag too. So well, movie wise.
But yeah, so he's a peeping Tom and stuff, and like as far as his Spider-Man goes, and people call this a boring take, but the take that the take that Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, and Tom Holland is the best of both. People are like, well, that's a boring take. It's only boring because everyone thinks it, and everyone thinks it because it's true.
Exactly.
Like, he's not a good Spider-Man, and like he doesn't really quip, and people bring up, well, yeah, he does quip. It's you who's out, Gobby. Out of your mind.
Yeah,
here's your change.
He doesn't quip as much as like other people, like other Spider-Mans.
Like he quips, but they're not good.
Yeah,
and they're very few and far between. And actually, I don't even think they're necessarily that bad. Like, here's your change is fine. I just feel like it's the way Tobey Maguire says it.
Here's your change.
That just does not sell it.
It sounds like he's trying to do like a freaking like an impression from like The Shining or something. I don't know.
It's like he's trying too hard.
Here's your change. Like it sounds like a off-brand like serial killer.
Yeah. Besides Tobey Maguire, when it comes to MJ again, I really wish they did more with MJ's abusive dad. I think that could have been a fascinating thing to go into with her character, and they don't really touch it after this movie.
Yeah, I feel like after Spider-Man. Well, yeah,
because like I guess it's because she moves, I guess, and which is like sure, but
it would have been like it kind of would have been nice to see like hey like like oh yeah you see she mentioned it at first like in the first movie like maybe like around the beginning, and then you see it more. You can kind of hear about it. You see the shadows. As them to have the talking like and like
hear them
over
yelling
the fence.
And stuff.
Yeah, in the fence. But it would have been nice to see like like I have like abusive dad and like he's like abusing her and like Toby saves her. Like that would have been nice, and that kind of would have
maybe that explains why MJ is such a she's so bad in this.
Yeah, and then like it kind of would have made it better had that interaction happen would have made like her like Peter Parker a lot more,
Yeah. And it's
that would have been nice.
The best, in my opinion, the best iteration of MJ is in the video game, is in the PS4 game.
For sure.
She's great in that. And I even see criticism of her in that because because a lot of people I see saying that like PS4 MJ is like, I don't even know, but like, the whole argument. I mean, you've played the game. The whole argument they
Yeah.
have, where like she's, doing her reporting or whatever, and she's getting into dangerous situations, and Spider-Man's is all like, you got to stop doing that, and she's like, no, thank you. And people are like, God, MJ is so annoying in this. I'm like, how? She's right.
It's
like
literally,
Peter's
literally her job.
it's
is to
her
do that.
job, and Peter's like trying to prevent her from doing her job. Like, yeah, she's getting into dangerous situations, but that's her job. You know what I mean? And it's like in this one, it's comic accurate in the sense that MJ is sort of trying to be an actress and a model or whatever, but that's about as far as it goes. I actually like the recent change that they changed her into being a reporter. I think that gives her a lot more stuff to do in Peter's life, and it just makes her a more compelling character than just a model,
Yeah, model or like an actress, and like having to be like, oh my god, I didn't get like an acting gig or whatever. But like the thing is, like, with her being a reporter, it puts stuff out there so that way she's not like stuck in like Spidey's shadow.
Yeah. Let's talk about the best scene in any superhero movie of all time. The lunch tray scene.
Yeah, freaking filmed like 127 times.
Yeah, they
with no
took
CGI.
a million takes, but hey, they got that shot, and it's great.
It is amazing, and it still holds up today. So
Because
that's
it's practical.
awesome,
That's why practical shots are the way to go.
for sure.
Yeah, that scene's freaking great. I mean, yeah, the tray stuck to his hand, but I mean, the fact that he caught, I mean, that's impressive as hell. So,
Bro, I can't believe people were like, that's CG, bro. Oh, that's CG. I'm like, shut up.
yeah,
But man,
Peter,
great scene.
Peter, webs the tray or whatever, and then he spills it or whatever on Flash, and then they get into that fight. Now, this is where he starts to discover his powers a bit, and Peter turns into X-Men Quicksilver for a second. This man,
yeah, and he starts fucking,
has super speed, like.
yeah, freaking, he has that, and then like freaking, he starts flipping. Dude, he just starts flipping in midair.
It's like, man, this Peter Parker guy starts doing flips and stuff. He had a weird string attached to him. He started like dodging all Flash's hits like this, and then there's this Spider-Man character that comes out of nowhere. Wonder what that's about. But so he beats Flash, and then that guy calls Peter a freak. In what way is he a freak?
It's like, why? Like,
because he decked out your friend? Like, Jesus, Parker, you are a freak. How? Explain.
Sorry that your friend was like, sorry he was protecting himself against a bully.
Sorry that Deathstroke just got wrecked by Spider-Man. So he leaves school, and he's like running away, and then this scene always creeped me out as a kid. Like, it's a gross scene. Like the hairs,
bro.
Whatever
a good
the hell
scene.
is coming out of his fingers. Like, ew.
Bro, honestly, dude, I kept looking at my fingers as a kid, waiting for that to happen, bro. I swear.
Same.
I wanted that to happen so bad.
Same. I'm like looking at close at my fingers. I'm like, is there hairs on my fingers?
Yeah,
I'll try to climb up on the walls and shit. Like, try to and I don't know, attach like the little mini hairs inside the wall or something. And try to climb.
I remember my mom like came in my room. She's like, "Why are you looking at your hand like that?" I'm like, "I'm trying to see if I can get like Spider-Man." And she's like, "Oh my god,
dumbass!" My kid's
like,
stupid as hell.
look at this fucking kid.
So yeah, he climbs the wall. That classic woohoo scene.
Yeah, over kids jump roping.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And yeah, that was awesome. And then like, freaking the web scene. It's like, go, fly web, go
web, go,
Shazam,
up and away web.
And then he does it, and then like he freaking hits the billboard, and then like the way he falls down always kills me, dude. And then like he's late for dinner, That kind of hurt me as a kid. I'm like, how you late for dinner, bro? Like, how you late for dinner?
And then he doesn't get
Oh
to
no, no, oh no, no. He's not late for dinner. He was like late, like painting.
to paint with Uncle
Yeah, the
Ben.
paint. Yeah, it was a paint. Yeah,
Dumbass.
and then like, I know, right?
I feel like maybe I'm just a punctual person, but like I feel like it's the same thing with the Flash. I'm like, how the fuck? How do you manage?
like-
it's not that hard to not be late,
I know, right?
but is what it is, I guess.
Very ironic to like have abilities to where you make yourself early and still be late, no matter what it is. Like Spider-Man can swing like and be fast, and then you're still late. It's like I can't do this.
Makes no
Same thing.
sense.
Same thing with the Flash. Like you have super speed, and you're so late. Don't get it.
Like I get it, haha, it's funny. He's super speed and he's always late. He should be on time or whatever. But like it gets old after a bit. Like just get there on time, my guy.
I know, right?
But yeah, so they have their whole thing or whatever, and then he wants to impress MJ because Flash has that car or whatever, and they have that conversation outside or whatever. Which, oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Jeez, man. Just I get it's 2002, but whew, some of these corny ass lines. Like Peter Parker's is a nerd, but I feel like he's also not an incompetent human being.
Yeah, Peter's a nerd, but like he's not like a fucking dweeb.
Yeah. Good lord. So yeah, he wants to get that car, and obviously there's a wrestling match or whatever. And he's like, I could do that because I have powers or whatever. And then he goes, with Uncle Ben, and Aunt May is like, no, he can, or like, he could take the subway or whatever. And then Uncle Ben's like, no, I want to die.
Oh my god.
So he takes Peter there, and obviously they have the iconic speech in the car that's in every Sam Raimi movie. With great power comes great responsibility. And I love the touch that he's wearing the suit under his clothes when he gets out of the car. And Peter was there for a while, which means Uncle Ben was just out there for hours.
Yeah, for real.
Like they got there like the sun was still out, and it's like pitch black when he gets out. What was my guy doing? But
Bro, he's out here making money, bro. That's why he got robbed.
the scene is always the scene where he signs up is always funny. And when the lady's like, yeah, you're fucking not, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah. Octavia Spencer, man. Always
Yeah.
nice to see her.
He's like, okay, you're fucking dead, but all right, I'll sign you up.
And then freaking he goes on stage, he sees like everybody like, my leg. Oh my god. He's like thinking to himself, oh man, what the hell?
Yeah, then of course you got classic Bonesaw, and everyone's chanting Bonesaw, Bonesaw.
Bonesaw,
Obviously played
Bone-
by the fantastic Randy Savage. May he rest in peace. He has the iconic line, Bonesaw is ready. And of course, Spider-Man's there with Bruce Campbell, who is Mysterio. He's like, what's your name? And of course he's like, the Human Spider. Fucking shitty ass name. He's like, what? He's like, the Human Spider. He's like, it's a fucking horrible name, my guy.
And like,
of course he announces him as the Amazing Spider-Man. Mysterio made Spider-Man who he is.
and
Maybe
then
we should
freaking
thank
he's,
Mysterio.
and then he's like, that's not my name. And like he's like walking, he's like getting like popcorn thrown at him and like getting berated.
Yeah, by these women, which was such a funny scene. Of course, he gets into the cage match, and then the cage, starts coming down. He's like, I didn't sign up for a cage match, And of course, again, I got you for 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes.
That's 3 minutes.
3 minutes of
playtime. Amazing.
He does his little fingers and start moving.
And of course, they go at it. Yeah.
Peter gets hit. Peter gets hit a lot by a chair, whatever.
Yeah, he dodged it or whatever, and then he gets up on the cage. He's like, "That's a cute outfit. Did your husband get it for you?" Spider-Man homophobic? Canceled? Spider-Man canceled? I think he is.
Yeah, I think so.
But
And
yes.
knowing cancel culture, they'll do it anyways for how they go back in archives.
But yeah, so everybody at that, place is like, I saw Spider-Man in his early days, and no one's gonna believe them.
I know, right?
But then that the guy who was supposed to give him his money, I mean, that guy just straight up knows his identity.
Yep.
And people criticize Tom Holland for always showing his face. They all do it. They all do it.
Yeah, they all do it.
But yeah. So obviously, Uncle Ben dies.
Peter.
Peter. Peter. Look at me, Peter. Hold my hand, Peter. I'm dying, Peter. Please. I missed the part where that's my problem. Such iconic lines in this movie.
I know, right?
The memes, the memes from this trilogy are incredible. Like the movies that are meme the most are the Raimi Trilogy and the prequel trilogy. I don't think there's any other movie series that is memed more than those two.
Really?
But yeah, so skipping ahead a bit. Ben's dead. Woohoo! Then he gets the Spidey suit, and goddamn, is that a good suit? Like,
that is a great suit.
Do I have criticism? Do I wish the eyes were bigger? Sure. Do I wish it was more round? Sure. But god damn, it's so good. Like, for 2004, the era of, for 2002, like the era of just leather everything. Seeing that red spandex and actually making it look good and not ridiculous is, number one, impressive, and number two, just amazing to see. This is the movie that I watched on repeat as a kid. This, out of the entire trilogy, this is my favorite. Like, I acknowledge that 2 is the better movie, but this one, I love this one. I love this one to death.
Nah. You want to know? I think 3 is a better movie out of 1 and 2. Psych.
No, you're right.
But I love the scene. I love the montage and like the opening, like when he first starts swinging through the city in the suit. That is incredible.
Yeah, and those people who are like, I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like him. And then like
he's a mask and he stinks. I don't like him.
I love the I love the woman's like guy in a suit.
Pretty That's hot.
And
then there's that other lady who's like, I just want to like grab him in his tight little, and it cuts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and then like the guy's like singing the main Spider-Man like theme.
Spider-Man. The Asian lady in the second one's better.
Yeah, really, it is. Also, it's funny, like, the guys are getting robbed, and like he just flies up, and then it has like a note. It was like, yeah, you friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah. But geez. And of course, we get to see Jonah for the first time. And good Lord, is that the best casting of all time?
I know.
J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is just flawless. I remember back when Far From Home, before it came out, and it was rumored that Jameson was going to be in the movie. Now, we obviously found out that he was in the post-credit scene and whatnot. But J.B. Smoove was cast, and people were like, he could be Jameson. Like, he actually that actually wouldn't not work,
Yeah.
But obviously, we got the ideal scenario, and J.K. Simmons is in the MCU. Thank God. Any scene with Jameson, I can't help but smile.
Because it's freaking amazing.
He's amazing, and his scenes are always hilarious. Spider-Man 3, and we'll get to it, is bad, but like every scene with him is just gold. Every scene.
It really is.
But, so, other than that, I think Peter and Harry are talking, and obviously Harry's with MJ at this point, and Peter is a little upset with Harry that, you know, he bagged MJ. You know, obviously he doesn't show that, but, you know, he's like all sad or whatever because MJ's with Harry. But I mean, Harry's right. My guy never made a move, so I don't know what he expected. Like what'd you think was gonna happen? Spider-Man and, you know, they go to the parade, and Harry's already a little bit of an ass in this movie. Like, he really is the rich kid, right? Like, they're on the balcony, and Harry's like, I told you to wear this other dress. And she's like, but I didn't want to.
Saw this quote from Tom Holland.
What?
It says, maybe it is time for me to move on. Maybe what's best for Spider-Man is that they do a Miles Morales film. I have to take Peter Parker into account as well, because he is an important part of my life. If I'm playing Spider-Man after 30, I've done something wrong. Tom Holland.
Yeah, he's capping.
He is.
He's definitely capping. He's definitely saying that he's trying to get more money.
More money. Yeah.
Because he's also
money.
He's also said that he'd play Spider-Man forever if they'd let him. So he's definitely. And my guy's, I think he's like 25. So like, I mean, yeah, he's definitely capping.
They could definitely push out a trilogy before he's 30. Another trilogy, maybe even another trilogy after that too.
Yeah. But back to Spooderman. I know Goblin at this point kind of didn't talk about that, but yeah. So Norman, you know, back to formula. And he does like the experiment on himself or whatever, and he turns into Goblin or whatever. He goes to the parade as Goblin, and I know he's like, he doesn't know what's really happened, like Norman's not really there anymore, but goddamn, he just throws a bomb at his son, like.
he didn't want him,
and then he disintegrates those guys. And those guys just turned straight up into skeletons. And of course, Spider-Man shows up and runs away from Goblin like a coward.
He runs away from him, and then you see cheeked up Gobby.
Man, that guy, Goblin's thick. I'm trying to see Willem Dafoe from behind, man, without the suit.
Oh man, down horrific.
And again, just more iconic lines when he catches his fist. Impressive.
Yeah.
God, I love it. I love it so much.
Then he like, after he punches him, he fucking flies like 30 feet. And
yeah.
The freaking light.
Yeah, he just pushes him. Like, how does he fly like that? But it's ridiculous. It's supposed to be ridiculous. But yeah, I can't help but smile at some of the iconic lines, like when after Spidey saves MJ and they go to that little terrace or whatever, and she's like, do I know you or whatever? And he's like, you know who I am. She's like, I do. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And he jumps off. Oh, that's great. We criticized Tobey Maguire in the suit earlier, but that moment, real good. It's real good. But then we cut to like Willem Dafoe's performance in the mirror, and it's that wonder of him just playing with himself back and forth. Like flawless scene, man. Willem Dafoe's performance in this movie is just bar none. He's so good. I was so happy he's back in No Way Home. We didn't talk about it, but his little voiceover in the No Way Home trailer, oh man, chills, just chills. And then we go back to Jameson, and Peter's, you know, taking pictures of Spider-Man or whatever, and he leaves, and then Goblin comes in, and he's like, who's the photographer that takes the pictures of Spider-Man? And Jameson's like, I don't know who he is, his stuff comes in the mail. I love that Jameson doesn't sell out Peter. It shows that even though Jameson's a brash guy and he seems like he doesn't care. He clearly does care about Peter. I mean, does he care more about his job? Sure, but he also does care about Peter, or he cares about the pictures that he gets that gets his newspapers selling. So I don't know. But what we got to get into?
What is it?
We got to get into that mugging scene with MJ.
Oh my god, the guy's barking.
Jesus, it's horrible for multiple reasons. Number one, the barking and the kissing. It's like, what the fuck is that? Number two, odd choice odd clothing choice to make Kirsten Dunst's nipples very apparent.
Yes.
I'm like, Jesus.
Especially in the rain too.
In the rain, yeah. I mean, just yikes. That scene. I mean, yeah, it leads into the iconic upside down kiss. But that upside down kiss has got to be horrible for Peter. Like, he's upside down, the water is just like pouring into his nose. He's like kissing. He's got to be like, he's like choking on the water. Oh man, absolutely ridiculous. But like, not only that, but like, MJ, you're with Harry. What are you doing? Like, I get it. I get like the whole damsel in distress, like the guy saves you or whatever, but like, bruh.
Yeah, and then also that, and then freaking, I don't know, man. MJ is just a cheater throughout the whole movie. I mean, not even the whole movie, the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
She just loves it. And I understand. Horrible, horrible character. My God.
We move into the scene with the burning building, and you hear the screams. That it was horrible but iconic screams, and then boom, it's Goblin. Amazing scene, and he's like, "You're so predictable." Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen. Oh, I forgot like the best line of.
Are you in or are you out?
No, after he breaks
out of your mind.
After he breaks into Jameson's and he sleep.
Oh yeah.
So good. So good, man.
I love it, man. Man, I need Gabi to freaking give me some stuff like that, bro. I'll be having trouble sleeping.
For real. But yeah, so, and then Goblin throws like those like fucking Harry Potter things at him, and with the like the slow-mo dodge. So good. It's so good.
Wait, no. I thought the sleep one was the other fucking. The sleep line was when he attacks J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, this is after. I'm talking about the burning building bit.
Oh yeah, okay. My bad.
But yeah, I actually didn't realize, like, when I was a kid, like before he goes in the building and the police are like, "Free Spider-Man" or whatever. He's like, and they hear the screaming or whatever, and Spidey's like, "I got to go in there," and he's like, "Well, you come back here," and then Spidey goes, "I'm not coming back, Chief." When I was a kid, I didn't realize that Chief was a position in the police, and I thought he was using Chief as an insult. Because, like, the way he says it, "I'm not coming back, Chief." Like, I was like, it sounds like an insult. But yeah, so.
"I'm not coming back, Chief. Go!
And of course, yeah, the classic, "It's you who's out, Gabi. Out of your mind."
Out of your mind.
Good Lord.
Are you in or are you out? See this out,
No matter how much you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
That monologue he gives him after he puts him to sleep is just incredible.
So good. I love how casual he is with him. I mean, he just sort of slaps him on the back of the head and just like kind of chills there. I love it so much. Oh man.
I was gonna do that scene for my scene recreation.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
you
do
should have
that.
done it.
I was gonna get like a hold on. Yeah, I was gonna get like the actual like foam posits and everything. I was gonna try to find like a Green Goblin costume, and we were gonna like go onto like the roof or whatever, like for like my school, and just like film it there. And I was like learning the entire like monologue. But I had to find the glider. Well, actually, no, he doesn't have the glider until the very end
Yeah.
of the scene. Actually, I'm curious to see how much that actually costs. I might get that.
Think about it.
Hero!
Hero. Yeah.
Dude, I need the real freaking glider, bro.
Yeah, I love the way he says, but the thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero, and the way like his pacing is to see a hero fail, fall, die
Oh,
trying.
yeah, I love
In
it.
spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother? So good. And then he like holds him up by the head, and he's like, "I could squash you like a bug right now." I'm like, yeah, Willem Dafoe. Think about it, hero.
Hero, think about it.
Oh man.
Hero.
Misery, misery, misery. That's what you've chosen. I offered you friendship, and you spat in my face.
Still wanted to see Willem Dafoe with waves.
For real. I need that. I need it.
Just imagine like in No Way Home, he takes off his freaking mask, has a purple do rag on, takes it off, and he's like, "There's one thing you can't stop, Spider-Man. It's just fucking waves." Imagine he like brushes his waves mid battle. I can't get over that.
Oh, man. If we keep going at this pace, this podcast is gonna be like 4 hours.
Yeah, this is gonna be. We need to start spitting.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. The final fight with between Goblin and Spidey might be my favorite fight of all the Spider-Man movies. It just feels so tight and personal and freaking brutal. And the fact that there's no music, there's no score, it just hits different.
Yeah, that's like where like it's like raw emotion for Spider-Man too.
Yeah, they're just freaking going at it. It's so good. Except the part where Toby falls. He's like, ah!
And it gets hit by a freaking goblin. It's like makes that sound. Oh my god, that was funny.
And
I'm gonna finish MJ nice and slow.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then just fucking starts wailing on him. And then at the end of the battle, you know, he has like a little sympathy moment. It was like, it wasn't me, it was a goblin. And he's like, God speak Spider-Man. And I was like, oh shit. And then he's like, oh fuck. And then he just stabs himself.
But the part when he's talking about MJ. God, man, the way he delivers these lines is just so good.
I know. Willem Dafoe, man.
I'm gonna finish her. Nice
and slow.
MJ and I, we're gonna have a hell of a time. Oh man.
I also like when I was a kid, I didn't realize that you were able to see
his mouth.
Yeah, his mouth.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. Like I didn't see it until I saw like clips of like the movie, and I rewatched it like years ago. I was like, you can see his mouth
in VHS DVD quality.
That's true. Yeah, we didn't have these 4K TVs back then.
Yeah, but yeah, so like Peter's like decking him the fuck out, and of course he's like, Peter, it's me, stop. And he's like, Mr. Osborn? I'm like, yeah, obviously, dumbass. I'm kidding. We didn't talk about it, but I love the fact Norman figures out that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then when he's like, they're looking for him on like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And
his like blood comes in, he's like, I know.
Yeah, and then he has the cut in his arm. And he's like, where'd you say you got that? And Peter's like, bike messenger, knock me down. And Goblin's like, I'm gonna have to leave. And then he basically called MJ a slut.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Okay, but hear me out. Is he wrong?
I mean,
is he wrong though? He implied that she wanted him just for his money. Well, that's wrong. But She gets around, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does get around. And freaking, he was like, freaking Harry's like, you can't do this to me. Like, I just, I don't know, I found that funny.
Yeah,
You
but
can't do this to
my
me.
guy Goblin really got impaled through the dick.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, and of course the
Don't
ending.
tell Harry.
Oh yeah, don't tell Harry. Peter, don't tell Harry. But yeah, those final the final funeral scenes annoy the hell out of me. Like, why are there so many goddamn funerals?
I know, right?
But regardless, Peter really turned down some free coochie.
He really did.
I also really like that MJ is clued into the fact that Peter is Spidey because of the kiss. I do like that. She's like, oh, that felt familiar. Like, she's not like 100%, but and
Yeah, and then
bro,
what?
that credits song "Hero" by Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott, fucking
Amazing.
hits. Say what you will about Nickelback, but that song, goddamn.
But my favorite song from any Spider-Man outro is Train. Is Ordinary by Train.
Nah, it's Hero.
Nah,
Yeah, it is.
it's always Train for
No.
me. It's Train for me,
Nope, it's Hero.
dude. Nah. We'll get into that another day. Let's get into Spider-Man 2.
Well, hold on.
What?
I give Spider-Man 1 a 9 out of 10.
I haven't rewatched
You
it, so I'm
haven't
gonna give
rewatched
it
it, so you're going to give it a 0 out of 10.
no. I'm gonna give it like from based off memory alone. I'm gonna give it a 7.
A 7?
Yes, sir.
7? Now, I
Based
am
off
biased. I do love this movie. But
Yeah, based off memory alone.
just those iconic scenes, yeah. But anyway, Spider-Man 2, starts off my guy. Well, actually, it starts off with like MJ's fucking face on a billboard, and he's like, "That's Mary Jane Watson, the love of my life, but I can't have her because I'm Spider-Man or whatever." And I'm like, Jesus. Anyway, he's doing his pizza run or whatever, and I love the guy. The boss or whatever, the iconic go.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, when he goes into the alleyway and becomes Spider-Man, the guy that's like, that guy, he stole that guy's pizzas.
Yeah, I saw that.
My guy definitely ran that shit by Jameson, and Jameson wrote an article about Spider-Man steals pizzas. He's a menace. I could totally see that. But this one had a much better, I feel, interpretation of Peter. Like,
yeah,
the whole like him like awkwardly trying to put everything back in the closet. Just that like the awkwardness of that scene was executed far better than anything else in 1 or 3. Really, I was like that's really good. And then, but yeah, that like it shows how good of a Peter Parker Toby is. 1 and 2 that changes in Spider-Man 3, but it's also not really his fault because it's obviously he could do it. Anyway, regardless,
we got the iconic pizza time.
Pizza time, amazing. God, the memes of this trilogy will never die. I can't complain.
Really won't. Can't complain either.
Yeah, but whatever happened to the if we're late, it's free thing? I feel like delivery people were late way too often, and so they were
That's
like,
true.
we probably can't do this anymore. Like,
Yeah, they're gonna have to, Did you hear that?
I did hear that. What was that?
Oh my god, it's my grandma. She's like fixing shit.
I see.
Ugh.
I like how at the Bugle when Toby's giving the pictures to Jameson, he gets a little assertive to Jonah, and he's like, He's like, I'll give you $100 for him. He's like 300. And he's like, that's outrageous. Done.
I know, right?
Oh man. I can't believe that Peter never tried to get with Betty. Like, part of me wishes that they used her instead of Gwen as the sort of other love interest in Spider-Man 3, because they kind of waste Elizabeth Banks' talents in these movies, but she's still really good nonetheless.
For sure.
But yeah, Dylan Baker is a great choice for Kurt Connors. I really wish we got more of him, or any sort of lizard something. I don't know, but because he was great. I also didn't realize when I was a kid. I also didn't realize he was an amputee. I don't.
Oh, really? He is?
Yeah.
Well, the actor himself?
Well, no, I don't know. I mean the character.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember the character.
Yeah, I didn't realize the character was an amputee. Like, I guess I just didn't process that he only had one arm. We didn't talk about it in the first movie, but obviously, Harry blames Spider-Man for his dad's death, thinks he's killed him or whatever. Dumbass. Even though his butler could have just told him what the fuck happened, but whatever. It could have saved a lot of stuff. But regardless, I know Harry is sad about his dad dying and Peter still taking Spider-Man's pictures. But my guy, it's his birthday in this scene and he's being a huge fucking asshole.
Yeah, really, he is. He's like killing the fucking mood.
Like, fuck this guy, man. It's Peter's birthday and he's like, you still take pictures for the bug? Huh? He killed my dad. You know that, Pete? Huh? Like, calm down, bro. Like, chill. Good Lord. Of course, we can't talk about Spider-Man 2 or 3 without mentioning Mr. Ditkovich.
Yeah, bro, he needs his rent.
Rent?
And I like how he just like closes the door all like slow. I like that. I like that part. It was funny.
Yeah, and of course, then we finally get to meet Alfred Molina as Dr. Otto Octavius. And of course, he's just the best.
Charming.
He's so good as Otto, and having Otto be just a genuinely good guy just makes it more heartbreaking to see his turn. Because with Norman, like, he was a dick to Harry. He wasn't a great father. I mean, it kind of, you sort of feel bad for the guy, because I think you can kind of tell that he wants to be better, but then obviously the goblin thing or whatever. But Otto is genuinely a good person, and he just wants to do right by science and stuff like that, and so that that sucks. But when he has dinner with Otto and his wife Rosie's like, so what's going on? You have a girlfriend? And Peter's like, I don't know. And I'm like, motherfucker, what do you mean you don't know? You told MJ at the end of the first movie that she can't have you. and then she told you that she has a boyfriend, like she's with Harry. And then like,
You also said it in the freaking beginning of the movie. You can't have her.
Yeah.
Because you're Spider-Man.
The fuck you mean you don't know? Like, it's a pretty simple no. You don't have a girlfriend because MJ is not... You said she can't have you. Like, what do you mean? But regardless, my guy Otto really got Peter reading poetry. Like, that's going to work. Like, my guy, it's not 1947. Like...
Hey, you may never know. You could read a girl a poem.
No, listen. Peter knows who MJ is, and MJ isn't gonna be like, "Oh my god, Peter, poetry! Oh my god." It's not who she is. She was when he read the poetry. She's like, "The fuck are you doing?"
I know, right?
But man, the scene where Peter flips over the car because what's he trying to make a MJ's play or whatever, and the kid's like, how'd you do that? And Peter's like, oh, eat your green vegetables. And the kid's like, that's what my mom's always saying, but I never actually believed her. Great scene.
I know that was
Great
awesome.
scene. I've always loved that scene. But my guy Spidey really stole that dude's car, like as he's
really
like driving
did.
away, when he easily could have gotten there faster if he just swung there.
Yeah.
Like, we know he's faster if he just swings, but he steals the car. Like, number one, you stole a stolen car. Like, I know, like, it's going to get towed anyway, and it's probably going to be reported missing or whatever. But, like, come on, my guy. Like, swing there. You could have gotten there faster. I mean, whatever. But regardless, fuck this guy Mysterio for not letting Peter in.
I know, right?
Like, my guy is being a dick for no reason.
I mean, it's Mysterio. He hates Spider-Man.
He does. Man, I wish we got Spider-Man 4 just to see that payoff. Like, at least we know that's what they were going with. But my guy literally even says in a menacing voice, helps maintain the illusion. Like, I was like that meme of Leonardo DiCaprio pointing. I'm like, Mysterio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have, like, when he couldn't get in and he just kind of waits outside the theater, and then he sees that MJ is with Jameson's son. I have very little sympathy for Peter seeing MJ with someone else when he literally rejected her. Like, you cucked yourself, my guy. What'd you expect was gonna happen? Like, I don't. This man's so mopey. Like, Spider-Man is sort of a mopey character, but it's a little over the top of this trilogy, and also maybe it's because of the memes, but like Toby's faces, I can't take him seriously. I can't take him seriously with some of the faces.
I know, right? Definitely at the very end, which we'll get into later on.
Man. And look, Spider-Man 2 is a great movie. A lot of people still consider it to be one of the best superhero movies of all time. People consider it to be the best in the trilogy, which it probably is. I still think that the whole he loses his powers because he doesn't believe in himself or whatever is still fucking ridiculous. I think it's pretty stupid. Like, like, oh no, I'm sad because I saw the girl that I like who I said who likes me but said
no to.
I said no to kiss someone else. Oh no, what happened to my powers? Oh no. Like, what? Oh
my god.
But so he falls down and he has to take the elevator. I love that elevator scene with that one guy. I thought that was hilarious, especially for whatever reason the line where he's like riffing. He's like, let me rip for you. Let me rip for you. He's like a cologne called Thwip, and he does a little shrug thing. I don't know why that part specifically sticks out of my mind, but I love it. And of course he's like the suit rides up in the crotch or whatever.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of rides up in the crotch.
That's good. That's good, funny Spidey. More of that, please. But, is what it is.
That's also the dad from Lab Rats. Forgot his name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. But
yeah, because like I was watching the movie, like kind of like at the time when I rewatched it, I did the little Leonardo DiCaprio thing, and I was like, oh, the dad from Lab Rats.
Yeah, he was good. I actually watched the extended version for this, and in the extended version, he gives out he like really like he like riffs. He gives a lot of suggestions. It's really good stuff. But we move on to Otto's little lab or whatever, and two things. One, his joke. Has anybody lost a large roll of $20 bills in a rubber band? Because we found the rubber band. And he's like, it's a terrible joke. I'm like, that is a great joke. Stand by that joke. That was awesome. But also, the priest from Daredevil?
Oh, yeah, he was in there. Yeah, I remember.
He's the guy who said, this is beyond your father's wildest dreams or whatever. I'm like, again, Leo DiCaprio pointing me. It's the priest from Daredevil. Listen, the microchip or whatever that prevents the arms from being sentient, it's a good idea, but my guy, you put it in the most vulnerable spot you possibly could.
Could have put it like on your wrist, like like something else, but nah, you put it in the back of your neck.
Jeez.
It's like
You gotta love the iconic line, "The power of the sun
there's sun,
in the palm of
the
my
palm of my
hand."
hand. Oh, the foreshadowing too. The foreshadowing.
True. And of course, Rosie
Amazing.
dies. That's a pretty,
That's yeah, that's heartbreaking.
yeah, that's a harsh scene, which is what you get from Sam Raimi's directing, which we'll also get to some of that in a little bit in the in a little bit. But Harry being a fucking rich prick again after he gets
Yeah,
saved by
I
Spidey,
know.
he's like, can't believe Spider-Man was there, and the guy's like, but he saved you, sir, and he's like, he humiliated me by touching me. Like, shut the fuck up, Harry. Like, what a fucking cunt, bro. Like, ridiculous.
Humiliate me by touching me.
Man. But yeah,
Pretentious.
that entire scene with the doctors and the arms attacking them, like, that's the
That
work of a
was
horror director.
yeah, yes, that is honestly that is like Sam Raimi like right there. That is amazing.
Probably one of the most Sam Raimi scenes in the entire
In a
trilogy.
yeah, for real, really.
Uh, that being said, it's the mask bit in Spider-Man 1 still scared me more. It's
Oh yeah, the freaking tribal music with the
yeah. I
mask
don't
looking
know.
all
Yeah, I
over.
don't know what it is about that scene,
The,
especially compared to this
and
scene where
the
that's meant to actually be scary.
yeah, and the camera whips. I think it was more scary. It was more like terrifying for me because like I thought of like just in the perspective of like all the people dying and like just fucking chainsaws and shit everywhere, like Evil Dead references.
Yeah, the scene, the part where the one of the arm like just straight up grabs that guy's face, that was like, oh,
I know that was like
geez, that's gotta
horrifying.
suck. But when everyone's like dead and Doc Ock wakes up and he goes no, that
Yeah,
gives
I know.
Darth Vader a run for his money. But
Yeah, that was like awesome.
the scene where he breaks out and he looks to camera with the arm, flawless.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Incredible
Amazing.
scene, truly perfect. But also then of course we get that Doctor Strange mention, which is more great fit. Did you know that guy who's like Doctor Strange, that guy, did you know that's Sam Raimi's brother?
Yeah,
I had no fucking clue.
yeah.
I
his
literally
brother.
found that out as I rewatched it. and then I looked at him, I was like, he literally looks like Sam Raimi. I don't know how I didn't fucking realize that. And he's in the I'm like, how did I not know this?
His brother's actually like in a few of his films. I think he's in Evil Dead as well.
I haven't seen Evil Dead. I haven't seen any Sam Raimi movies other than Spider-Man trilogy.
Evil Dead's fucking incredible.
But yeah, I had no idea that was his brother. And then now I can't unsee it. Now I just kind of look, I'm like, he looks like Sam Raimi. But yeah, of course, I absolutely loved the fact that when Peter comes in and it's implied that Robbie, the black guy, knows that Peter is Spider-Man. He's like, I heard Spider-Man was there, and he looks at Peter. I love that. I kind of wish they did more with that, but I'm also kind of happy they left it like super subtle. I love that. I don't. It's also shows like how he protects Peter and sort of sticks up for him a bit later in other scenes too.
Yeah,
What a great character that we don't get much of.
it was also a pretty like meaningful how like when like like later on during the movie when you see like his costume in the trash, the guy like picks it up.
Yeah,
He's like holding like his mask too.
yeah, and he's like, "Damn, you hate to see it." But yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Such a great character. I think didn't the actor in real life die?
oh, I don't know.
I'm
Time
gonna
to look
check
it
right
up.
now. I'm looking it up right now. I feel like he did, but I could be wrong. Bill Nunn. Yeah, he died 2016.
Aw, well, that sucks.
It does suck.
It's kind of crazy. Rosemary Harris is still alive.
Yeah, she's 90 and kicking it.
94.
Damn.
But Betty White's like 99, so
I know. Yeah, Betty White's freaking immortal, bro.
crazy. She really is.
she's siphoning the blood off Queen Elizabeth.
Okay, so when the Jameson laughing scene, iconic, of course, right?
Mm.
You serious?
Yeah.
So good. You know,
Also memeable as well.
of course,
Very memeable.
You know, the fact that even though they do like the whole villain is talking to himself thing again, just like they did in Spider-Man 1, it's executed really well, so it doesn't really matter that they're kind of just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Joel McHale's in the movie.
He is. As a bank teller.
The bank teller. So I guess Jeff Winger worked at a bank before he went to law school, and also before he got hair implants.
Hair implants. Oh yeah, I forgot.
My guy's hairline is. I love that he actually, you know, he's really good in this. I'm surprised, like, because obviously he's known for the soup and whatnot. I'm surprised that, I don't know, he just wasn't in more things until Community.
Yeah.
Because like, because when Aunt May kicks him, he's like, how? Like,
Yeah, she like hits him for like getting like a gold coin.
Yeah.
Man tries to steal.
He's great. Gotta
He was
love Joel
amazing.
McHale. But
yeah, the bank scene was nice. Here's a change.
here's your change. Yeah.
And like the freaking like him getting like squished by like his arms, and like the freaking he like uses his like arms to like flip the cab. That was incredible.
Yeah. Oh, I love the bit after he takes the safe door off and he just like hits those guys. You see the one guy fly and just smack his head on the railing.
Yeah.
You hear him go, So good.
And then he takes Aunt May, right?
Yeah.
Takes Aunt May.
He's like, don't follow me or whatever.
Yeah, I love that line. He's like, he's like, let her go. He's like, okay. Oh, Butterfingers.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know, a general issue with Doc Ock as a villain is that he's just a normal dude. Like, he's
really
just a
is
regular
a
guy.
normal
So
guy.
like Spider-Man with all his strength, he'd easily knock him out in one punch. So it's a little ridiculous that Doc Ock is just taking all these hits and he's just completely fine. I think it would have been cool and really interesting to see that Spider-Man does knock him out in like one or two punches, and then the arms completely take over.
That would have been awesome.
And they're just you know, using like just puppeting him. Like, that would be sick. Because like, guy's just a normal dude.
And that would have been even more Sam Raimi like horror things, you know.
Yeah, and then you make the arms more of a character.
True.
That would have been sick. But yeah.
Also would have been sick to see, you know, like the extent of Peter's powers. You know, we don't really see that because, you know, Spider-Man holds back.
Yep. Could
Yeah,
knock this dude's head off.
It literally would have been fucking amazing if like he like knocks him out and he's like, oh shit, that's how strong I am. Like, fuck. But of course, you know, Doc Ock experiences how strong Peter is when he freaking knocks off like Scorpion's jaw.
Yeah.
In Superior Spider-Man.
I love the part where Aunt May is hanging on for dear life and then she just kind of lands on the railing. She's like, oh.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know. I think it was always funny, like, you know, like going back to like when Aunt May gets captured and like there's a bunch of office workers like here like rumbling, and that freaking girl just like screams into the camera.
Yeah, because the arm comes through the door and she's like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little
dramatic.
Yeah, a little corny, but it's also Sam Raimi.
Also, like, it was a nice seeing him like defeat Doc Ock, you know, in that moment, and then like, you know, she's like of course, you know, Peter I cannot speak. he saves Aunt May, and you know they had like a little talk or about
We sure show him. Who's we? That's I think that was their exchange.
Yeah,
that was totally totally when Aunt May was like,
would say,
yeah, it's Peter. I think that's when she figured it out.
And also, it's like, you know, all the girls were like, save me, save save me.
Yeah, take a picture with me. Oh.
And then we go into the fucking cringe. Like I think this is like the most like, like of course you can't blame Peter because he kind of cut himself, but like I found it like cringy and kind of hurtful like during like the ball scene.
Yeah, it's definitely cringy. But yeah, he does it to himself. He's just having a rough day. He's just having a real rough night. So like he can't get any hors d'oeuvres anytime he goes for like a tray. It gets taken, or he goes for a drink and it's empty. Like Harry slaps him multiple times. MJ gets engaged to Jameson's son, and MJ like roasts the shit out of him. Like my guy could not catch a break.
He really couldn't. And it's just like, I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you do feel bad, but you can't because he did it to himself.
Yeah.
And what was after that scene? I don't remember.
Like directly after?
Yeah, directly after.
I think he like left and he was like,
He's
swinging again, and he was like, not again, and he
falls and hits the freaking dumpster.
And that's when you have the iconic picture of him like looking at his hands with his mask off.
And then he's like, I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore. I can't do it.
No, not yet.
Yeah, you can.
Not yet. That's a little bit after, because then he's like, "The fuck's happening to me?" Then he goes to a doctor.
Yeah. Goes to the doctor,
and I don't know what the fuck Dr. Peter's going to. Cause like that man's broke as hell. That doctor sucks, and he's broke as hell. That one doctor visit is going to cost him like $2,000. And also,
oh my god,
why is he in his underwear? The doctor's like, "Hey, why don't you strip down for me?" Peter's like,
kind of feeling a little.
Now open up your mouth and say, I'm
feeling a little cheeky today, if you know what I mean.
But yeah, after that's when the doctor like gives him that talk, and he's like, maybe you're not meant to be Spider-Man in your dreams. And Peter's like, and this is another example of like a really great Peter Parker like acting moment where he's like, well, I'm Spider-Man in my dream. Actually, it's not my dream. It's a friend of mine's dream. I'm like, that's a good scene.
Mm.
Yeah, this one, as far as the characterization of Spider-Man, significantly better than 1 or 3.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so that's when he decides like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna be Spider-Man anymore, because he's like having that conversation with imaginary Uncle Ben. He's like, I can't do this, and then that's when you get the phenomenal comic panel. No more parallel, flawless.
Yep.
So good.
And then you have the best montage.
Yep. Raindrops are falling on my head.
Raindrops are falling and then on my head. Freaking you see Peter eating a hot dog, and the cops like chasing after like this like stolen truck, and he's like, oh, hey, my problem anymore. Just fucking
just walks away.
And he's doing good in school and like everything like that. And then, like, Dr. Connor's like, keep it up, Peter. And then, like, it freeze frames. And then goes
weirdest,
back to normal.
cheesiest freeze frame I've ever seen.
It was so funny.
Yeah. But, so now that he's, like, doesn't have his powers anymore and he's feeling good about himself, he actually goes to see MJ's play. And MJ's happy but apprehensive. And, Pete, after they're, like, walking together on the sidewalk, and... Okay, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm being an ass. I don't know. But Pete asks MJ if she wants to get food, and she's like, "I'm married," and I'm like, "So you can't?
Yeah,
he's still your best. You can't get food with your best friend? Like, be platonic. It's food. You're not fucking like."
Yeah, it's definitely one of those scenes where like you ask a girl something, she's like, "I have a boyfriend." It's like you can't.
Like that would make sense if like it's like this girl you're talking to from like, I don't know, fucking school or whatever. But she's his best friend. You can't go get food with your best. I don't. MJ fucking sucks. More evidence that MJ sucks. Maybe I'm just an asshole and I'm not seeing what she's seeing or something. But good lord, it's food.
No, yeah, it's food. And then he's like like what the hell? Like it doesn't matter.
But yeah. So then she leaves, and she's like, "You are different," and leaves. So we talked about it a little bit, but that homeless guy comes over, and he has the spider suit in the trash, and and he has it hung up. And Jameson obviously has a moment. He's like, "He was a hero, and I couldn't see it." And then, of course,
the best.
Swollen.
one of the best fucking scenes ever in Spider-Man 2.1. It's
Yeah,
just
of course he
Jameson in
has
the
in
suit.
the suit. Oh man, so good. He looks good in the suit too, which
Yeah,
is
which is like funny.
hilarious. But
But yeah, I enjoy that a lot.
the scene where, man, the scene where Peter tells Aunt May the truth about what happened to Uncle Ben, at least
That
for what
that
he
broke
knows,
me, dude.
so sad,
That's horrible.
so
And
sad.
and it's just like the silence of that scene, and like she just like leaves. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Did you know
man,
there's actually people who don't like Aunt May in that sequence?
really?
Yeah, I
That's
can't
like,
remember the exact reason why, but like it's for some dumb as fuck reason. Hmm?
I mean, it's like it's perfectly logical why she would be very, very like upset and disappointed.
Yeah,
Like
and she
you're
forgives him like really soon after anyway. So
yeah, and it's because it's like it wasn't really his fault. I mean, like it was like I mean, it was a problem of it. It was part of the problem, but it wasn't like his fault like entirely. But it's like, how can you be mad at that? If someone like, literally told me, yeah, like I'm kind of like the reason like a family member is dead, I would have been like, what the fuck?
yeah. So then he started to like be conflicted about maybe he should have powers, and then there's the burning building parallel from the first movie, but this time he has no
Mhm.
powers and he goes in and he saves that little girl, and then I love to see where the little girl like helps him up.
Yeah, that was
The
amazing.
cutest shit I've ever seen. I was like, that's fucking adorable. But yeah, but he even though he saved that girl, someone still died in the building, and of course he's thinking if I had my powers, I could have saved that other person that was in the building. Um, but yeah, so gotta move this along. Holy shit! That car going through the store scene when he's with MJ, which by the way, also what an awkward fucking scene
It was
in a
yeah.
good
He's like,
way, of course.
do you love me or do you not?
And he's like, nah. But then she's like, kiss me, and he's like, what? She's like, one kiss. I need to know something. Obviously, we know it's because she wants to know if he's Spider-Man. But still, it's like the fuck, just kiss me. But yeah, that for '04, like that car going through that going through the storefront, freaking sick.
Amazing. It really is.
And of course,
Oh.
this scene where Jonah Jameson is like, he's a hero. I couldn't see it. He's a menace. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. Always funny. And of course, we get the iconic train scene. Still, I mean, that scene it still holds up.
Yeah, that scene definitely holds up.
Besides Toby's face, still holds up.
Mm-hmm. And you have freaking the baddest fucking American in the world, Joey Diaz, fending off Spider-Man.
Yeah, train guy.
Nah, it's Joey Diaz,
Train
baddest
guy.
American, the baddest American in the world.
Yeah, then you got that moment where that guy's like, he's just a kid, no older than my son.
It was fun.
Like, your son's 35? Your child's son is 35. Like, my guy has a 5 o'clock shadow and everything. What do you mean he's just a kid? Well, whatever.
And then you got the scene of like Harry, exchanging words with Doc Ock and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to say this, like, whenever like Harry's like looking at the ledge and like you see the freaking arm attack him, that scared me as a kid. Kind of more horror.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
maybe.
that. Definitely a jump scare, yeah.
And then he needs a tritium because he's freaking building a whole ass bomb.
Right, and that's when we get the train scene, and he brings Spider-Man alive because that's what Harry asked for or whatever, and then he takes the tritium and dips. And then, of course, we get the scene where Harry unmasks Peter, which is a great scene.
And he's like, oh,
Peter.
Like,
I can't believe it's you, Peter.
and then he's like, and then he freaking, I like how Tobey Maguire just looks down and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he just like, he just rips it apart.
Yeah.
Like rips the metal apart. He's like, where's MJ? He's like, he just wanted the tritium. And he's like, where is she? He's like, you killed my father. I was like,
I'm like, God damn, you don't help Harry. Fine, bye.
yeah, he's like, there's bigger things other than like, our problems. And then he dips and then he finds MJ.
Great final
nice,
battle. I don't like it as much as Spider-Man 1, but it's still really good.
I like how, it's just like the scene of like MJ creeping up on freaking Doc Ock, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What the?" He's like, "What the fuck?" And
He just decks her.
I know that was
Hilarious.
funny. And then yeah, you have Doc Ock switching sides, and that was amazing. But before that, the the building's collapsing.
Yeah.
That's that was amazing.
God.
Uh,
Doc Ock sinking in the river is like that. Like that's just a 3D model. That's all CG.
that is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Which is
There's
it's like
there's no
I'm
way,
I'm I'm like 95% sure it's a complete 3D model,
bro.
which is incredible
Because if
for
it's a
2004.
exactly, yeah.
But we also get a great cameo from Willem Dafoe at the end. And
Because Harry going
yeah,
to be the new Goblin.
yeah, and of course we get MJ leaves ditches Jameson's son at the wedding, which is just tough, tough for him.
It's just horrible, horrible, dude.
Yeah, and of course he shows up. She shows up at his doorstep, or whatever, and she says the iconic "Go get him, Tiger," and I'm like, I get Leo DiCaprio pointing again.
I know.
She said the thing. But
And then like I think honestly that's like my favorite like swing out scene, especially the music completes it as well.
True. But yeah, that's Spider-Man 2.
Now it's time to get into Bully Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Well, I used to kind of be a Spider-Man 3 a apologist. I was like, this movie's not that bad. Then I rewatched it. Maybe it's because I rewatched it back to back with the best out of the trilogy.
Oh yeah, that's probably not gonna work well.
Yeah, yikes, man. But like, just starting out, Happy Peter is the most obnoxious human being on the planet. I'm like, stop being so happy. Like, I'm preying on this man's downfall. Like, yeah.
I want to see you suffer.
Exactly. But like, it's a sloppy introduction to Venom. Like, there's no evidence to alien life in this universe, and it's just some meteor that falls down, and it's like just the symbiote's there. But then there would have to be evidence of symbiotes previously, because Dr. Connors is like, this is a symbiote, and I'm like, but how did, what, where, when, what? And of course, like, no one's ever gonna blame Sam Raimi for this, because it's all Sony's fault for this movie being the way it is. But like, Thomas Hayden Church is a great choice for Sandman. Very underrated casting. I think people should talk about it more as far as like really great castings go. Like, I was watching the editor's cut of Spider-Man 3, and it does a lot better job of making Sandman a lot more sympathetic.
Yeah.
It gives a lot more scenes with him and his family too. Just makes him a better character. He was already pretty good in the theatrical cut anyway, but still. This movie came out a year before Iron Man 1, and even though Spider-Man 3 is a visual upgrade from the previous two, it still looks dated, especially the green screen work, whereas Iron Man, just coming out 1 year later, still holds up visually.
Yeah, you can like fucking. I don't know which part it was about the movie. I think it was like the train scene of like the Spider-Man 3 when like he has the black suit on.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh wow,
Well,
that's CG.
the first scene when he's fighting New Goblin,
Mm.
and they're like flying through the air or whatever. It was cool. I enjoyed it. But like, I was like, whew, this green screen.
Let me just tell you how bad Harry gets hoed in that fucking movie. He gets his head bonked, and then he loses his memory.
My man's deserves it.
I mean, yeah, because he was a dick to fucking Peter.
Dick to MJ, dick to everyone, really. Dick
Strawberries.
Dick to the women he sexually assaulted in real life, everything, you know? Anyway.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
But, you know, I'm like sort of feeling sympathetic for Flint or whatever, and then he punches a dog, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe he is a bad guy.
yeah. Maybe he is a piece of shit for that.
Shit on Harry earlier, but memory loss Harry is really fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
He was fun. Sandman when he turns into Sandman, figuring out how to like use his body and whatever. Phenomenal scene.
That's a great scene.
I was just criticizing the VFX earlier, but like the sand effects, great, really good. So that's a W on their part, I guess. But yeah, both Peter and MJ are fucking annoying as shit and are horrible people in this movie. And I'll get to Peter eventually, but MJ in this scene when she's like trying to understand how I feel as she like is interrupting Peter trying to explain how he understands how she feels. I'm like, let the man speak. But maybe I'm misremembering or I'm not familiar enough with the comics version of Gwen, but why is Gwen modeling? Am I stupid? Because like MJ is the model in the comics, obviously, but like was Gwen also a model and I'm just misremembering, or is this just like
I have no idea how Gwen Stacy is in the comics besides like from the Amazing Spider-Man. I don't remember her modeling the comics at all.
Yeah, because she's like modeling and stuff, but like also she's also Peter's lab partner, so I mean, she could do both. I'm not saying she can't do both, but I'm like, I just, as far as comic accuracy goes, I mean, I don't really care about comic accuracy all that much, but I was just like, wait, she's modeling? Just kind of threw me off. Maybe I'm just like comparing her to Emma Stone. But yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier, but like in Spider-Man 3, like this movie sucks, but like everything with J. Jonah Jameson is freaking phenomenal.
I know.
The blood pressure scene is hilarious. When
it's just constantly getting buzzed.
Yeah, it's like you got to take your blood pressure medication. He goes to pick it up. Zap.
Is like
not that one?
Not
Zap.
that one.
Not that
Zap.
one either.
That one. And then he before he reaches, he like points at it, and she's like, "Yeah,
that one." And then he goes to take it.
Zap is like,
sure
"Don't forget to drink water."
So good. But you know, why is everyone a hoe in this trilogy? Just the entire, not just this movie, but the entire trilogy. Like MJ's with Flash, but like she's kind of into Peter, and then she's with Harry, but she's into Spider-Man and Peter, and then she's with Jameson's son, but she's in love with Spidey and Peter, and then Gwen is with Eddie, but and Gwen is into Spidey, and Eddie is with Gwen, but Eddie's hitting on Betty, and then MJ kisses Harry, and what is happening in this trilogy?
Too much thottery going around,
for real. And I want to reiterate that I hate Happy Peter, because like when he mimes the drummers and stuff, I'm like, stop it, please. Like it's Happy Peter is the worst. Except it's not Happy Peter, it's Happy Tobey Maguire Peter. Because he got kind of happy like Tom Holland, and that's just more like infectious. And you got like Happy Andrew Garfield, that's also kind of infectious. But Happy Tobey Maguire Peter Parker, I'm like, please stop. You got that whole like sort of parade scene where Peter kisses Gwen. Now look, Peter shouldn't have kissed Gwen, and I get like a lot of people defend it like it was an in the moment thing, but like Peter's smarter than that, man.
He really is. Like
there's no way, like he shouldn't have done it, period. And also, like when like as I was watching the movie, I completely forgot they were lab partners. So like obviously MJ's all mad and stuff, and they go have dinner, and Mysterio's there, and he's like, fucking, that was great when he's doing the French guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're having dinner or whatever, and Gwen shows up, and she's like, oh, Peter's my lab partner or whatever. I was like, oh my god, they're fucking lab partners. So he knew, like, they're platonic friends. He knew who she was, and he's like, yeah, let's kiss. And like, I feel like that's just so weird. Like this girl I know from, like, she's my lab partner, but you know, I'm Spider-Man, let's kiss. Well, I'm MJ's in the crowd, and I know, like, Jesus Christ, what a horrible fucking what a dumbass. Like, and I also don't like the idea of retconning Ben's killer as Sandman. Like, I get it, like his villains sort of have to have this connection to Peter, but I feel like Sandman could have just been this guy, like like because then
Yeah.
it feels like it sort of sours his what he did in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, because
Like
I feel like with
sorry, go on.
because I was saying like with Spider-Man, Spider-Man has sympathy for everybody, no matter like who like the villain is. But it's also like I feel like when just him like kind of just like telling like Spider-Man like I have a daughter or whatever, he would have felt bad, and I kind of would have like not changed the story. But yeah, you kind of what you said, when you like retcon Ben's death, it kind of like ruins like the motivation for him being Spider-Man in a way.
Yeah, like
It's like,
I
why?
get it's kind of the point, but I just don't think it was a good choice.
Yeah, sure.
But now Peter has the black suit. The black suit music is so funny now because of the internet. Just
For real.
the amount of meme.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like it's hilarious. But the Spidey versus Sandman fight, like you were talking about with the train, looks exactly like the final battle in Black Panther.
Yeah, it does.
Like even the CG like looks almost on par, which is like
It's kind of saying something about Black Panther.
yeah. But of course, emo Peter activated, like pulling down his hair and stuff. Jesus Christ. And then we get MJ kissing Harry. Jesus Christ, man. What is this movie? This movie, man. Like, I feel like arguably MJ kissing Harry is worse than Peter kissing Gwen. Because, like Harry, and like, I know she's mad, and I know she's, like, vulnerable, but, like, good Lord. I don't know, man. Jesus.
Yeah, that's it's pretty bad.
It's pretty goddamn cringe. But like, and then of course we get the dancing scene. And
I know.
look, I get it. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be this comedic sequence because it's supposed to be Spider-Man 2's Raindrops Are Falling on My Head scene, but the opposite. I get it.
Yeah.
He's supposed to think he's cool, but he's not cool. You see all the women like going like, "Ew, what the fuck's up with this guy?" I get it. It's supposed to be funny, but it's just not. I don't get it when people defend this scene. Like, it's supposed to be like, I get it's supposed to be funny, but it's just not funny.
Yeah, then like get the whole fucking like the whole fight with like MJ and Peter, and then like freaking he just like hits her.
Well, like before that, he's just so fucking obnoxious. This emo Peter, like, because now he's with Gwen.
Yeah, and then he's making himself look like a fucking fool.
Yeah, he literally says, "You're gonna dig just this joint, babe." Like, what the fuck? What kind of line? like this place got some cool cats, dog. Like, like what? Like what is this dialogue, man? Oh Jesus! The only sequence I liked about this whole emo Peter scene is when he's talking to Connors.
Yeah,
and he's like not paying attention. He's like eating cookies from Ditkovich's daughter. Like that. I like that one. I like that part a bit. But yeah, so he's in the bar, and jeez, that whole dance number. He goes, "Dig on this," and he does like this little snapping thing, and like, good God, that's when my dad was like, "No, no, this," because I was watching. I forgot if I talked about this on air or not, but I was watching it with my dad, and he was like, "This shit sucks," especially on that part, specifically the "dig on this." He was like, "What am I fucking watching?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, I've seen this movie several times, and just good Lord. But man, yeah, that whole dance number is fucking atrocious. And again, I get it's not supposed to be taken seriously, but even on a comedic level, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so he realizes he's done wrong or whatever, and he goes to the church or whatever, and Eddie's there, and he's like, "Please kill Peter Parker," or whatever, and the Venom shit gets on him. And I don't care what anyone says, I like that Venom design.
Venom design looks cool. I also like the way like the freaking symbiote falling on
Yeah.
Eddie. That was pretty cool.
Is Topher Grace a good choice? Hell no. But but I don't know. I like the Venom design. Obviously, Venom in the solo movies design is better, but I personally don't have an issue with this Venom design. I think it worked, especially for the time. The final battle, we gotta speed this up. The final battle the other two movies felt very personal, and this one feels unnecessarily big.
It's like, oh yeah, you have like Big Sandman and like all that type of shit. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Is what it is. But like, yeah, this movie was just shit. You know, I think the coolest part of the movie was when Peter and Harry have that fight, and then Pete catches the bomb and throws it back at him. Sick. That
was amazing. That was amazing. I like that a lot.
Yeah. But man, this movie, bad.
I know, it was really, really bad.
Yeah, I gave this movie a 5 out of 10. Because there's sections I enjoy, and I guess there's some campiness to it that I can get behind, but generally just not. It's not there. I forgot if I said it, but I gave Spider-Man 2 also a 9 out of 10. It's better than Spider-Man 1, but Spider-Man 1's my favorite. I like them both sort of equally for different reasons, but yeah, this Spider-Man 3 fucking sucks. Good Lord.
Yeah, anyway. I'm about to rewatch them.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do it I'm actually gonna do it tonight because like I don't know what the hell is going on with my freaking class, dude.
Hell yeah, do it. But yeah, that's the Raimi trilogy. So, I mean, look, it's a phenomenal duology, but until that last one.
Yeah, if there's no interference, we would have definitely had a better Spider-Man 3.
We also would have gotten a Spider-Man 4, but Sony got scared.
Maybe even a 5.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. Everything happens for a reason. If it didn't end up being trash, then we would have gotten a Spider-Man 4, and that franchise would have kept going. Then we would have got the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and then if that didn't fail, we wouldn't have gotten Spider-Man in the MCU. So everything happens for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, that's the Spider-Man trilogy. Is that the show?
That is the show.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengers on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds, all one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @itzenith_ on Twitter and itzenith youtube.com/itzenith on YouTube. Where can they find you?
At Torrentino on Twitter.
We have a Discord if you'd like to if you'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave 5 stars and a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengers podcast. We'll see you next week with the Amazing Spider-Man duology, continuing our Spider-Man marathon.
Sounds good. See you later.